What's going on, guys? It's Hi, and I recently purchased a Toyota Supra GR, and it needed service from day one. So check this out. When I got home with the car, I was going through and setting everything up when I noticed some warning prompts. The first said, driving assistance support reduced. You can continue driving, lasting reduction of the driver assistance. If the problem recurs, have it checked by your dealer. Then you can click to request service or go down and see the affected systems. When seeing the affected systems, I got two prompts. First was the pedestrian warning system, which had completely or partially malfunctioned. The second prompt warned that the front collision warning system had also completely or partially malfunctioned. I can continue to drive with the car, but the warning system won't activate properly. So, what does this mean? Well, from my understanding of the situation, it just seems like the radar system of the car wasn't functioning properly. So in this particular scenario, the car wouldn't be able to detect when a pedestrian is coming into traffic, or if I was coming in too hot and am about to rear-end the car in front of me. Like the car says, you can continue on driving with these malfunctions as they don't really affect the car's performance because they are driver assistance aids. If you are a cautious driver and a person who's actually paying attention to what they're doing, they aren't absolutely necessary, but they can help. For me, it was more that I paid a big chunk of money for this vehicle, so I expect it to work properly, especially considering that I just purchased it a few hours earlier. When I noticed these issues, I contacted my dealership right away, but unfortunately it was later in the night, so I had to wait till the next morning. During this time, I went on the internet to see if anybody else was having similar problems. I got nothing when looking up these problems for a Toyota Supra. But if you didn't know, Toyota had a lot of help in building this car from BMW, and knowing this, I looked up the same problem for the BMWs, and the results came up real quick. Apparently, this is nothing new for the BMWs. A lot of people experience these issues, and the solution seems to vary quite a bit. Now, I am not a BMW guy at all, so I'll try to explain the situation to the best of my abilities. From what I gathered, it seemed like BMW shipped a lot of cars with malfunctioning radar systems, whether it's the radars in the front or rear bumpers, or the camera in the windshield. With this, you just don't know until you have a dealer check it out. The problem is, there doesn't seem to be one answer or one solution to this well-known problem. Some dealers take the car in, update the firmware, and call it good, and this fixes the issue for some people, but the majority seems to need hardware replacement. If this is the case, the issue then becomes actually getting these parts, because some people have to wait weeks, months to actually get these new radar and camera systems in stock. On top of this, some dealers don't even let the owners drive the car home because of possible safety concerns. All of this made me very nervous because I just bought this car. I don't want to have it sitting for weeks or months waiting to be fixed. Aside from the possible bad firmware or hardware malfunctioning, the system in general just doesn't seem to be all that well made because a lot of things can negatively affect it. For example, if your car is slightly dirty or if there's like some form of dirt or debris that's covering some of the radar, this issue can arise. These issues can also arise if there is a heavy rainstorm, a heavy snowstorm, or any other environmental condition that affects visibility. On my end, I went out the next morning, gave the car a quick wash to see if I was possibly getting these warnings because of dirty sensors. Unfortunately, I was not, so at this point it was all up to the dealership. Some time passed and the dealership finally called me. Lucky for me, the only trained Supra technician at the dealership was working that day. So I took the car in, the technician looked at it and was able to solve the problem, at least for the time being. Apparently, the radar system on my particular Supra was not set up and calibrated properly at the pre-delivery inspection. Don't quote me on this because I don't know if I remembered it correctly, but apparently you have to do very specific things to calibrate the system, like driving the car at 42 kilometers per hour for 1 mile. My particular Supra was a dealer trade, so it was at a different dealership, and we got it in for me to buy at the dealership that I like to work with, and apparently the original dealership just didn't calibrate it properly. So as of right now, my Supra is working properly. The radar system doesn't give off those warnings anymore, but I was told by the technician to just keep an eye on it because it's kind of up in the air because they've never seen this issue before. This is kind of similar to what the BMW owners reported. Some would say that it gets fixed and show up again a day later, so who knows. Like I said, the system is currently working, and all I can really do is be mindful of it, and if anything comes up, I'll just have to take it back to the dealership. So, for all those GR Toyota Supra owners out there, have you experienced this? To any possible BMW owners who are watching this video, have you experienced this? If you have, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear how this worked out for you. Other than that, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it around, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more content like this. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.